Step across to the Totteridge Academy in Barnet in North London.
The Totteridge Academy in Barnet in North London was home to the reliving of an ancient Rajput tradition. Many from the Rajput Samaj of the UK, dressed in their Rajput best, complete with moustaches and turbans, turned out to relive an ancient tradition. Men marched sword in hand, and so did the women, to pray to the swords. Worship of the sword among Rajputs goes back many centuries, and in their prayers, both young and old, both men and women, remembered their forefathers who had lived by the sword, and many who died by the sword. The men and then the women marched in carrying swords to show what they can still do with them, and their prowess was very soon on display. The talented were presented certificates to honor them and to encourage them to return next year with more swords and skills. The sword ritual has many takers among young Rajputs, and they have their own reasons.
First of all, this is not a dance. This is a way of practicing our martial tradition. Obviously, Rajputs being about the martial race, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to invoke the goddess. We're trying to get the goddess to take up residence within the sword. That's the main thing that we do.
Basically, the curry weapon is criminal offence in London, but we are Rajput, so we pray the sword in Dashera because our goddess Ambaji continue 9 years, she fight with the devil, and the number of the 10 days she win, and that's why we pray the sword today, and we call Dashera. It's a Ram win for the Ravan and the Ambika also. So we Rajput pray the sword and do the sword.
Well, we feel that we are away from India, and the fact that the whole cultural input that comes from the families. And if you do this regularly on a year-on-year basis, then of course the cultural traditions are continued from one generation to another generation.
What we found is that the traditional is a thing that we must not forget about it, that we protect the people, we protect the people of the all over the the India, and being a Rajput, we are the warrior family, and it's our duty to people to remember, because sometimes if we don't keep the traditional there, then our youngster probably not realize where we came from, what is our duty, and how we have to perform our duty to protect our country and the people of the country.
With Sanjay Suri in London, this is Vaibhav Verma for News 18.
And if you were to bump into a Rajput girl with a sword in hand or two swords in hand, just step quietly aside. She's only another kind of Londoner. But